Hey everyone, it's Karen. I wanted to do the 10 years, 10 books tag, which was created by Rick McDonald. I wasn't tagged, but I still want to do it. Basically what you're doing is you're taking the past 10 years and you're selecting the most meaningful or your favorite book from that year. But here's the thing, you guys, I'm a little bit cheating because I didn't keep track of what I read in 2010. So I'm skipping that year and I'm gonna include my favorite book so far of 2020 instead to make up for it. So yes, in 2011, I read 48 books, but I don't know that I kept track for the entire year of 2011 on Goodreads. But my favorite book out of the ones that I saw is the Night Bookmobile. This is a picture book, but it's for adults. It's essentially this woman who, I think she has insomnia or something, and she's just out late at night and she finds this bookmobile, and when she goes inside, it actually has everything that she's ever read, her own personal library. And I don't remember the exact details of what it says, but basically like recipes she's read and anything she's read is in there, not just books. One of the reasons I really like this is because I used to live in Chicago, and this takes place in one of the neighborhoods of Chicago where I used to get on and off the train even though I didn't live there. In 2012, I read 116 books, and my favorite was State of Wonder. I had read an Ann Patchett book before, but 2012 was the year that I read my second book, and then I was like, oh, I think I might love Ann Patchett. This tells the story of a scientist who goes into the jungle to find her other partner scientist who has gone lost. Crazy things happen. It's lovely. In 2013, I read 166 books, and my favorite was Ready Player One, which is a book I recommend to anyone who doesn't like science fiction, because I feel like even if you don't like science fiction, you may like this book. It reminds me a lot of our current situation as well. Basically, it's in the future. Everyone kind of lives in this place called the Oasis, which is kind of like an exploded internet, Facebook sort of thing. You take your classes online. Sounds similar to right now. You do everything online. Your life is basically online. The guy who created the Oasis dies, and he hides his fortune inside an Easter egg of the Oasis. Like, you have to find it somewhere. And once you find it, there's all these different competitions you have to go through, and whoever wins in the end will win his whole fortune, control of the Oasis, and a bunch of other cool stuff. It's just a good story in and of itself, but what's extra cool is the hardcover came out. A year later, as normal, the paperback came out. When the paperback came out, Ernest Cline, the author, was like, hey guys, by the way, forgot to tell you that he hid a URL code in this book, and you needed to find it, and then you would go on a very similar little online thing defeating different levels of video games and all this stuff, and in the end, if you made it to the end, he would give away a car from Back to the Future. And so you can actually look on YouTube, someone did finally win. They found the code, they beat all the levels, and they won the car. So that's pretty cool. In 2014, and every year that follows, it was more difficult for me to find my favorite book because I really slowed down my reading. I really wanted, I think I realized that I will never be able to read all the books that I want to read, and I want to slow down and just take my time with books that are very well selected. Just know going forward that I had amazing books that I wanted to talk about, and I could only pick one. So for 2014, I only read 49 books, so went way down. My favorite book was The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I love any book that takes place in a college, school sort of setting, and this is a mystery told in reverse. So you know at the beginning who has died, you don't know why, and you have to figure out why. In 2015, I read 82 books, and my favorite was Room, which starts out in a room. A mother and her son are locked in this room, and it's told through the perspective of her son, which I don't remember how old he is, but he's like 4 or something. So it's interesting to hear how a story would be told by someone that young. In 2016, I read 102 books, and Zaytoon was my favorite. This is about Hurricane Katrina and the aftermath, but it's also mostly obviously about this guy named Zaytoon who decides to stay behind instead of evacuating, and he helps so many people. But he's also Middle Eastern. I can't remember what country he's from. And so you learn a lot about the racism and the things that he dealt with when he was just trying to help his neighbors. 2017, I read 105 books, and my favorite was The Stranger in the Woods, which tells the story of this man who, when he's in his 20s, goes into the woods in Maine, and that's it. No one has ever heard or seen of him again. However, they do know that things are going missing at camps and homes in this particular area. And so this is them trying to find this mysterious man who lives in the woods and the aftermath of what happened when they did find him. 2018, I read 202 books, and this is by far my favorite. It's the one I'm still recommending. It just recently came out in paperback. But I Miss You When I Blink is a book of essays by Mary Laura Philpott. It will make you laugh, it will make you cry. This book made me make a huge change in my life after reading it. It really inspired me, and I loved it so much that the author ended up actually sending me a postcard telling me thank you for reading her book. In 2019, I read 54 books, and my favorite was How to Do Nothing. This book is just on being present, not being on social media as much, but not going on a ban to get off of Facebook, Instagram, and all those things, but just making your life so full that it kind of crowds out that need to be on technology all the time. Finally, 2020, I've read 52 books, and this is my favorite so far. I don't know if it will be my favorite by the end of the year, but A Circle of Quiet. It's the journals of Madeleine L'Engle, and I really enjoyed it. I really connected to it, and it allowed me to explore who she was a little bit more. So those are my 10 books for the past 10 years. If you would like to do this tag, do it. I'm not gonna tag anyone, but I do hope you do it. And if you're not making videos, please comment below what would your 10 books be. I'll see you guys later. Bye.